Oh, great ball game. Again, two of the best teams in the country, in my opinion. Could have gone either way, but this guy closed it out at the end. Cole drove in 5 of our 6 runs, and so that's the team I think we're capable of being on any given day, and we beat one of the best teams in the country. So, again, it's just something we'll continue to build on.
All right, there are questions for the players. Please raise your hand.
If you would take us through that 9th inning, what kind of emotions, or how do emotions change, or do they?
Yeah, I had to settle myself in and just try to dial it in a little bit. Felt like my stuff was kind of getting over the plate more than the other 2 innings, so I was getting hit around a little bit. Being able to focus in and get that last out was huge. So,
All right, in the center of the room.
Hey, Garrett, Jack Felcher, GamecockCentral.com. When did you have an idea or a sense that you may be coming into this game today? And when you do come into that 7th inning and you get that final out to keep it tied at 4, what's kind of going through your head there?
I mean, I pretty much knew I was getting the ball today. I knew we were going to have a good chance of winning, especially taking that early lead and then taking that lead 4-2. I think it was the 6th inning. Especially like late in the game like that, I knew I could get the ball. So being able to just focus in the bullpen and try to think about my bullpen as a game-type situation and get ready for the game.
Or on the left, second row.
Alan Cole, GamecockScoop.com. Cole, you had a tough matchup in the 9th there. Pitcher who hadn't given up a homer all year. Were you sitting on anything in that at bat? And can you take us through the homer, please?
I just knew he had a good fastball and be ready for a good fastball. So, I sold out for the fastball, and he ended up throwing a slider and just took my best swing. Didn't really think, I was going to hit a slider, but it happened and took a good swing, and the ball got out of here. So,
And back in the center, second row.
Cole, what's kind of the emotions of that homer there for you when you're rounding the bases and you see all your teammates going absolutely nuts, in the dugout there?
I mean, it means the world. Like, that's a moment I'll remember forever. I mean, these are my guys. These people I would kill somebody over. Well, that's a bad way.
Can't say that.
Yeah, no, bad way to put it. No, I would, take a bullet.
That's taking it a little too far.
No, take a bullet for, and, I love them to death. So, it meant the world to me, and, keep building.
All right, on the third row on the right.
Cole, Mark was talking yesterday about, these moments, these tournaments are so cool because you see guys have the moments they'll remember for the rest of their life. How gratifying have these last 2 days been for you?
Like I just said, it's been awesome. I mean, it's been fun to watch this team compete the way we have, and, had a rough 6 games before this tournament, and, just kind of turned it all around in 2 games and feel like we're back to who we are and can make a run.
On the right, second row.
Cole, Coach Van Horn said it was pretty clear you were sitting breaking ball on that last home run. Does that kind of speak to how well you're seeing the ball right now, that you can be sitting fastball and make that adjustment so well? Is this about as well as you've played this year?
I mean, I guess so. I felt like, majority of the time when I'm geared up for a good fastball, I just hit with my eyes more than not, and I felt like I just hit with my eyes on that pitch and took a good swing. So.
All right, are there any more questions for the players? One more on the right.
Garrett, can you take us through that celebration afterwards? That one's a little bit different than
Yeah, I just explained it to the SEC Network people. So we've been playing the Nintendo Switch in the hotel, and that's recently been our go-to celebration for a win. So me and Matthew Becker have been going back at it, back and forth. Tyler Dean's in that mix, Drake Quinn's in that mix. But I told Matthew that if I got the last out, well, it should have been a strikeout in my eyes. But if I got the last out, I would do the celebration. So I caught him coming out the dugout, and I looked over, and he was doing it. So I had to do it right back at him.
All right, Cole, Garrett, thank you for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll see you again tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
All right, if you have a question for Coach, please raise your hand. It's right in the middle.
Hey, Mark. With Gainey coming in today, did you know coming into the game that you were potentially going to have to use him today? And did you, how do you feel like that decision kind of paid off for you?
Yeah, well, Garrett's one of those guys that either he's going to give you one day with some length, or you use him twice with shorter bursts. And so once we had the lead, we decided, okay, we're going to give the ball to Garrett. It's going to be a little bit longer outing, but hopefully he can take us home. And that's exactly what we did. So we went in today saying, if we're in control of the game and we have a chance to win, we'll give it to Garrett. If it's getting away from us, then we'll save him for tomorrow and then he probably would start. So we're just being flexible with a lot of our guys right now. All these guys are right around that between 50 and 60 pitches. So that means they may be able to be deployed later in the week as well. So it's kind of who we are right now.
We're on the left, second row.
You've talked pretty much for 2 years now about Cole being the leader of this team. Can you even put it into words or explain how different the vibe is when he's going the way he's going right now?
Well, we score a lot more runs when he's hitting. That's clear. I'm pretty sure if you dug into the stats and on the days he has good games, I bet we probably win 90% of the time. And when he doesn't, it's obviously not that high. But he's the heart and soul of our team. And when the heart and soul of your team is playing that well, it just allows everybody else to kind of follow suit.
On the right, second row.
You sort of touched on it, but we've asked you about pitching decisions all year. Garrett Gainey was out there and giving up a few hits there in the ninth. You didn't have anybody warming up in the bullpen. What gives you the confidence in him to be able to do that? And was there any thought to even getting somebody up?
No, once we went out there for the ninth inning with the 2-run lead, we said we're going to ride or die here. He's earned that right. He's been one of our best guys. We've talked about it. You know, he didn't get the last out in that inning at Tennessee last week, but there's certain guys you're willing to ride or die with, and he's one of them. And we were going to win or lose in the ninth inning with him on the mound. There was no reason to get anybody else up, and he came through.
Third row, right side.
Is there anything you see different out of Cole these last couple days, or is this just him putting it together on a bigger stage?
Well, I think, you know, his mechanics, you know, when he has his hands high and he has that, he's got some movements that need to be synced up properly. And when they are, he's as good as any hitter in the country. And right now, he's completely synced up. His timing is where it needs to be. And when he does that, his swing is in the zone for a long time, which is exactly what allows what he was just talking about. He was looking fastball, he got the slider, but because his bat is in the zone for so long when he's swinging the right way, it allows you to be back here for the fastball and still be on plane for the slider when it's hung. And so that's why, you know, it looks like a guy sitting on a breaking ball, but when you have a good swing that's in the zone a long time, it can cover the fastball and the slider.
Toward the back in the center.
Joe Healy, D1 Baseball. Coach, how pleased have you been, as much as anything else, with the way your team's fought these first 2 days coming off the way you guys finished the regular season?
Well, Joe, we fought all year. You know, again, I think sometimes we fall into the trap of thinking if a team's losing, they're not fighting, and if they're winning, they are. Nothing could be further from the truth with this team. This team has played hard from day one, and whether you win or lose, that's not how you define how these kids are fighting. These kids have played hard all year. I know every coach that comes in here will say the same thing. It's a damn hard league, and you're going to lose some games. And this is a strong-willed team. They've never showed up to the park where I thought, they're not ready to play today. This team plays hard. We had a couple tough weekends against two teams that will be national seeds. It happens, and we just keep the train moving.
On the right, fourth row.
I know you got more work to do, but it's the first time since 2017.
Excuse me, you're supposed to introduce yourself. We're not in Founders Park right now, so you're
Still
supposed to
Warm
introduce
Sports
yourself
Talk
for the
Media
crowd.
Network,
Your reputation does not precede
I'm
itself
sorry.
here.
You're correct. I'm so sorry. First time since 2017 that the program has won a game in this tournament that was in the double elimination portion of the tournament. So just your thoughts about, being where you are, facing LSU tomorrow in a winner's bracket final, so to speak, a place that the program hasn't been in a while.
Yeah, well, I think it's well documented that the history of South Carolina baseball, there's been a lot more great moments outside of Hoover than inside of Hoover. I mean, a lot more highlights in Omaha than in Hoover, for whatever reason. I'm focusing on this team right now. This is a team it's a good team, and we can beat just about anybody in the country, and we're playing really well right now. So just gonna ride that wave as far as we can.
All right, we have time for two more for Coach on the right.
Y'all played ahead for a lot of the day, and then whenever Arkansas would score, y'all would come back and score right back. How much of a difference does that make, either in this game or just in general?
Yeah, I mean, we responded. It was a little bit of a gut punch. We took the 4-2 lead, and then they tied it up. And luckily, it didn't take too long before Cole hit the 2-run homer to give us the lead back. So, look, baseball is a game of flow. It's a game of ups and downs. You have to be able to deal with it, both in game and also during a season. And again, this team generally does that pretty well.
All right, second row in the center.
Mark, we're 2 games through the SEC tournament now for you guys. How would you evaluate the way in which you've been able to use the pitching staff with monitoring pitch counts and knowing when to pull guys? And how do you feel like this sets things up for the rest of the weekend?
This is how we have to do it. I mean, really, this is how we have to do it in a short weekend. Obviously, we're playing the tournament now, and you've got to win a lot more games, and we'll have to win next week and hopefully the week after that. So we're kind of trying to line things up in a way that we think will give us a chance to win the next couple weekends. So it's a little bit of house money right now. I need to go back with Matt and decide, all right, how do we use guys tomorrow? Who will start? Who will finish the game and everything in between? So so far, again, I think the key for us is to use guys in situations where we don't overexpose them, we don't overuse them. Now that it's postseason time, and again, Eli was good today, 1 earned run. He didn't want to come out, and I don't blame him. He's a competitor, but we thought it was time at 56 pitches, and Ty came in, and Ty probably didn't want to come out, but he was at 60, and then Garrett Gainey gave us 54. So really, that's within that number of pitches for those guys, that's when they're at their best.
All right, Coach, congratulations on the win. We'll see you again tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mark.